Hi, friends. Welcome to session one in the course of Operations Management from the School of Management and Innovation. In the next few videos, we would be understanding operations and operations management in detail. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you are alerted when a new video goes live. Before we explain what is operations management and its details, let's look at a case study about the Lego group to understand it better. We want any child playing with Lego bricks to have a high quality play experience. And in addition, we also want to make a positive impact through the way we operate, from our focus on business ethics to reducing our impact on the environment, says Jean-Louis Nudstop, CEO of the Lego Group. Of all the businesses, the toy business is one of the world's trickiest. Difficult to forecast, unfailingly subject to fickle kids' latest fads, and subject to constant technological innovation. Yet, the Lego Group has in recent years thrived in the business, becoming one of the most reputable companies in the world and one of the leading manufacturers of play materials. And the secret of their success is a very simple idea. Lego manufactures 4,200 different elements in the Lego range and in 58 different colors. But take any two pieces and your pieces will always fit together perfectly. All the basic Lego elements use the same method to stick together. They have studs on top, which are slightly bigger than, and tubes on the inside. Pressing the bricks together produces an interference fit, which provides a temporary joint without the use of an additional fastener. But this principle does depend on the elements being made to very high levels of precision and quality, which explains the company's motto: only the best is good enough. The idea has become so popular that it is estimated there are now 86 Lego pieces for every person on the planet. And this is possible because of the company's operations processes that are central to maintaining its reputation for quality and its ability to produce millions of elements profitably and sustainably. The process starts at the main warehouse that contains the silos holding raw plastic granulates. The silos are linked to the molding machines by a complex arrangement of tubes. The molding stage is particularly important because every Lego piece must be made to a demanding level of precision with tolerances as small as 10 micrometers. At each machine, the plastic is heated and pumped into the mold through a main channel, which divides into several narrower channels, each corresponding to a single brick. Water is used to cool the molds, which can produce up to 32 bricks, and when the plastic is solidified after only a couple of seconds, they release the bricks into containers. At the end of the process, the boxes are sealed shut, automatically weighed to ensure there are no missing components, checked by a worker trained to look for things like plastic bags sticking out of the box, packed by a robot 6 to a case, and finally sent off for distribution. Quality assurance staff perform frequent inspections and tests on the various Lego elements, such as drop, torque, tension, compression, bite, and impact tests to make sure the toys are robust and safe. Only about 18 in every million Lego elements produced, that is 0.00002%, fail to pass the tests. The Lego example illustrates how important the operations function is for any company whose reputation depends on producing safe, high quality, sustainable, and profitable products or services. Its operations, like its market, are globally located. It is meticulous about ensuring that its processes operate to precise quality standards, and it has invested heavily in process technology that reduces the environmental impact of its operations and the cost of its products. Let us examine what operations and operations management mean. Operations management is the activity of managing the resources that create and deliver services and products. The operations function is the part of the organization that is responsible for this activity. Every organization has an operations function because every organization creates some type of services and or products. Everything you wear, eat, sit on, use, read, or knock about on the sports field comes to you courtesy of the operations managers who organize its creation and delivery. Every book you borrow from the library, every treatment you receive at the hospital, every service you expect in the shops, and every class you attend at school, all have been created by operations. While the people who supervise their creations and delivery may not always be called operations managers, that is what they really are. And that is what we would be talking about. The tasks, issues, and decisions of those operation managers who have made the service and products on which we all depend. Business operations typically has three basic functional areas, that is finance, marketing, and operations. It doesn't matter if the business is a retail store, a hospital, a software firm, a manufacturing company, a car wash, or any other. All business organizations have these three basic functions. Finance is responsible for securing financial resources at favorable prices and allocating these resources throughout the organization, as well as budgeting, analyzing investment proposals, and providing funds for operations. Marketing is responsible for assessing customer wants and needs and selling and promoting the organization's goods or services. Operations is responsible for producing the goods or providing the services offered by the organization. In other words, if the organization is a car, operations would be its engine. And just as the engine is the core of what a car does, in a business organization, operations is the core of what organization does. Operations management is responsible for managing that core. Hence, operations management is the management of systems or processes that create goods and or provide services. So, what does creation of goods and services mean? The creation of goods or services involves transforming or converting inputs into outputs. Various inputs, such as capital, labor, and information, can be used to create goods or services using one or more transformational processes, such as storing, transporting, repairing, etc. To ensure that the desired outputs are obtained, an organization takes measurement at various points in the transformational process, called feedback, and then compares them to previously established standards to determine whether corrective action is required, which is called control. Some of these inputs are listed on your screen. These are just a fraction of the inputs that might be in your industry or organization. But this is just to give you an idea. Some of the processes used to transform these inputs are also listed on your screen. The outputs generated from the inputs and the transformation processes are goods like houses, automobiles, clothing, etc., and services like healthcare, entertainment, car service, legal, banking, and communication. Although goods and services are shown separately here, it is important to note that goods and services often occur jointly. For example, having the oil changed in your car is a service, but the oil that is delivered is a good. Similarly, house painting is a service, but the paint is a good. The goods service combination is a continuum. It can range from primarily goods with little service to primarily service with few goods. Because there are relatively few pure goods or pure services, companies usually sell product packages, which are a combination of products and services. There are elements of both goods production and service delivery in these product packages. This makes managing operations more interesting and more challenging. We understood that operations is the process of transforming inputs into desired outputs, which are then provided to the appropriate customer. Management in operations management means that we must take care of these operations and convert our inputs into the desired outputs in the most effective and efficient manner. To ensure that efficiency and effectiveness, we use certain management principles which can help us optimize the use of our resources. So, in operations management, our focus is primarily to use the concepts of management to manage our operations. Now, let us understand an essential concept of operations, that is, value addition. The essence of the operations function is to add value through the transformation process. Value added is the term used to describe the difference between the cost of inputs and the value or the price of outputs. The value of outputs is measured by the prices that customers are willing to pay for these goods or services. Firms use the money generated by value added for research and development, investment in new facilities and equipment, worker salaries, and profits. Consequently, the greater the value added, the greater the amount of funds obtained or available for these processes. Value can also be psychological, as in branding. The price is determined by what customers are willing to pay based on their perceived value. Value can be added or created in different ways. Consider the example of the Lego toys we discussed earlier. We saw how the company invests in stringent quality control measures to ensure that its product maintains consistent excellence. Lego also invests in extensive research, advanced technology, and licensing agreements with major brands, allowing them to create themed sets that capture the imagination of fans worldwide. These licensing agreements come at a significant cost, but they also add immense value to the Lego experience. Lastly, the intricate design and meticulous attention to detail in every set requires a substantial amount of time and effort from Lego's talented team of designers. The meticulous attention to detail and quality control in every Lego set contributes to their higher price point. The precision manufacturing process ensures that Legos fit each other perfectly, enhancing the overall building experience for users. Therefore, customers are willing to pay a good price as they know that the quality of the product and therefore the overall experience would be wonderful. So, we have an overall view of what is operations and operations management. We also got an overview of how operations transform inputs into outputs and how they add value to the product or service offered. In the next video, we will try and understand in more detail the difference between products and services and the complexities involved in the same. If you found the information useful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.